was somewhere where I went, okay, if I could bring this in-house, I could charge
Here, by using a straight line angle, I can take 3 measurements around.
So, really like
Live from Studio 3 in beautiful Naperville, Illinois, Spanesi Interactive Week continues with Frank Terlep from Auto Techcelerators. Now your host, COO of Spanesi Americas, Mr. Tim Morgan.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope everybody's enjoying the week, and we got an action-packed day today, and we're going to start it out real quickly with Mr. Frank Terlep. Frank, you've been in the industry a long time, and I just said in our teaser earlier this morning is you always come up with the most innovative things, and you're always right there at the right time. I don't know how you do it. I wish I had your luck.
Well, I don't know if it's luck, Tim. It's my 2 big years because I always listen to what's going on in the industry, and so and also you have to look a little the hill, and sometimes I've been way over the hill, but I enjoy getting new stuff and solving new challenges.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm back in the day when I'm on the board of directors of Equipment Tool Institute, and I remember back in the day talking about ADAS and what's going to have to happen with computers and cars and stuff like that. And as soon as I'd get up at one of those meetings and speak, I would have to tell all the scan tool people and everybody, hold on, hey, don't leave the room. I know I'm a body guy, but you guys are going to be in the middle of this in a few years. And it's, here we are today. It's just amazing.
Oh yeah, and it's only going to get crazier. It's only going to get crazier. Now, the good news is, for those businesses that choose to commit from a knowledge perspective, from an investment perspective, from a technology perspective, there's a lot of success down the road for them. For those who choose not to do that, I think this is one of those events that is really going to call the business. It's one of those events we've talked about for years that said, how are we going to lose X number of shops in the industry? And I think this might be the event that does that.
The cream always rises to the top. We know that. So let's get into this. Let's show us what you got. This is amazing stuff.
Okay. So Tim and Carl and everybody, a little bit about us. Started a company a little over 2 years ago. And today our vision is really simple. We want to help the industry improve the way they estimate, calibrate, and validate ADAS repairs. And the reason for that's simple. We want to make sure that after vehicles repaired or calibrated, the ADAS systems actually operate as designed. So let's talk about what we are introducing at SEMA this year. And we're calling it the industry's best ADAS knowledge, information, and repair procedure platform that'll be available to anyone, anywhere, and anytime. And so why would a company like us develop a platform like this that's available to anyone, anywhere, anytime? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Today, there's about 75 million ADAS-equipped vehicles on the road. And depending on the shop, my guess is anywhere from 20 to 60, maybe in some cases even 70% of the vehicles they're repairing, they're ADAS equipped. But 5 years from now, there'll be 130 million ADAS equipped vehicles on the road. So that stuff isn't going away. And so we looked at it and said, wait a minute, ADAS and calibrations are going to be critical to the success of our industry. So we really need to help the industry in that scenario. Also, and then Tim, you and I talked about this previously, a couple statistics that I think are scary. Number one, on the left, it says, this is a survey done to shop owners. And I forget who it was. It was one of the magazines, online magazines. And they asked the shop owners if they felt they had the training and the tools necessary to handle ADAS. And today, only 16% of the shops feel they have the training and tools to help them with ADAS. So that's scary. And then recently, CCC announced in their report that in their latest data, I think it was through Q1 of 2021, only 12.7% of present model year estimates included a calibration line. So think about that. 2020 vehicles, only 12.7% of those vehicles that were estimated included a calibration line. That's pretty scary.
And another scary part about that, if I can just cut in for a second, we did the math, and 77% of the cars are drivable. So that means 20-some percent are non-drives. And you're telling me that these non-drives didn't need a calibration?
Well, I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying what the statistics say, right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and Tim, but even in the drivable vehicles, right? Because of the way, and you know this, because of the way ADAS works, there's probably a good chance that a large percentage of those drivables needed some type of calibration. So scary numbers. And again, one of our goals is to try to help in those areas. Now, so the other reasons we did this is shops have a challenge identifying systems, components, and calibration requirements. Anybody who's on this call that's in the business, they all know how much time they spend today trying to find and research information related to ADAS and calibrations and other repair information. And then last but not least, what I've seen in the marketplace, the calibration and ADAS repair documentation is not very good at all. So again, those are some of the challenges we're trying to solve. Now, and here's a prime example, right? So you look at these two cars on the screen and they come into your shop. Where's the ADAS, the technologies, and what's on the vehicles, right? How much time is it going to take for someone who's in that shop, as soon as that car arrives, what's on the vehicle? And in my opinion, when that vehicle arrives, that shop needs to have a conversation with the consumer that says, hey, Mrs. Smith, did you know your car has X, adaptive cruise control, cross, blah, blah, blah. So they can have that conversation with the consumer to, number one, educate them, because most consumers don't know. But second of all, to make sure they understand that because they have these components on the vehicle, it may require specific repair procedures and calibrations, which may extend the repair time for the vehicle. So another example. So our vision is, again, number one, we wanted to create the fastest, easiest, and most accurate way to identify ADAS systems, components, and calibrations, because we think it's critical. We want to get those numbers up from 12.7% to much higher. Also, we want to reduce the amount of time people take locating and researching information. And we think we're on the way to creating the place where people will go for ADAS calibration, knowledge, information, and repair procedures. And then the bottom three are mom and apple pie, right? We want to help the industry improve its ADAS and calibration knowledge. We want to help the industry with the documentation. And then we hope we take that 12.7% and increase it to the real number, which probably ought to be 50 or 60% in terms of repair order lines that include a calibration and or ADAS repair line item. So let's talk about the workflow of what we've built, because I think anytime that a business makes a change to the way they process vehicles, it should fit into their workflow. So in our new platform, the ADAS Copilot Pro platform, the workflow is actually pretty simple. So a vehicle appears at the facility, whether it's towed in, whether it's drivable, either way, and the person who's greeting that vehicle and that consumer, all they need to do is scan the VIN barcode, or in GM's case, the QR code. And once they've done that, in seconds, we present all the ADAS systems on that vehicle based on the VIN. So again, if on the CSR, I scan the VIN barcode, I know what's on the car. If I'm the estimator who's processing that vehicle, I scan the VIN barcode, I've now got that information. Now, the nice thing is right then and there, I can drill down into each one of the systems. whether it's adaptive cruise control, blind spot, collision warning, and I can look at the components that make up those systems. I can look at where those components are located on the vehicle and immediately know what type of calibration this vehicle is going to need if I'm going to R&R or R&I that component. So immediately I know now what I'm dealing with regard to ADAS technologies and calibrations. And then the other thing we've done is because we believe that there's a lot of other information available in the industry that's not tied just to the ADAS components, we've added additional information and knowledge assets from ICAR, from the OEMs that include videos and PDFs and position statements. So anything related to ADAS and calibrations to that particular vehicle is available with a press of the finger. Now, if the person who's greeting the vehicle and the consumer isn't that technical, again, they've done their job already. Because once they've scanned the VIN, we now make that information available immediately to the repair planner or the estimator on their desktop or on their laptop. So now if I'm the estimator or repair planner and I'm now going to dig into writing that repair plan on that vehicle, I just literally go and I look for that vehicle in that VIN. I select the down arrow. And again, now I'm the estimator or repair planner. I now have access to all of those ADAS components, as well as videos. And again, if I want to dig into each of those systems, I hit toggle open, and now I'm looking at each of the components related to that ADAS system. And then if you'll notice again, you can see here, it shows you the component. By the way, it also uses the OEM's name. So that's important because while we genericize the system, like adaptive cruise control, it's important that whoever's repairing the vehicle understand the OEM information from a parts perspective, from a calibration perspective, blah, blah, blah. And then we know, again, where it's located at, and we know what type of calibration it's going to need if they're going to R&I. Now, again, as the repair planner, now I want to learn more about that ICC system. So I just click on it, and now I have a list of categories for information and repair procedures. I can now dig into more to get what I need back from that component. I could look at description and operation. I could look at TSBs. I can look at what do I need to do to test and inspect. You can read all these things. I can look at wiring diagrams, whatever the case, or special tools. And so in this case, I'm just going to go, I want to say, well, how does this thing work? So I click description and operation, and now I'm taken to another list of all of the different description and operations related to that particular ICC component. And again, if I want now to dig into the details of that, the vehicle to distance control function, I just click on that, and it now takes me directly into the all data repair procedure platform. So for those of you who are using an information system, you know the struggles you have and your people have in terms of, I got to get the VIN, I got to paste the VIN, I got to copy the VIN, I got to know the components, I got to know the nomenclature, I got to know the name. We get rid of all that requirement and make it really easy and really fast for a shop to access whatever they need related to ADAS and calibrations. Also, again, as I said, with regard to the app, also on the web portal, we offer all this additional ADAS information and knowledge for that user. And again, this is for Nissan. And you can see we got links to iCar. We got links to the actual Nissan Tech Information System login. So if you think about it, let's say it's a brand new 2022 and all data doesn't have the information. Right from this system, I can click and I'm in Nissan's information system, getting the latest ADAS and calibration information I need. There's information from, there's videos, and you'll also notice towards the bottom here, all the position statements from the manufacturer are available to that user with a click of a mouse or on the app itself. So again, trying to make the ADAS Copilot Pro platform the place to go with regard to ADAS and calibrations. And at the end, we also can generate a report which can go into the claim file, can be given to the customer, indicating what was done on any and all of those ADAS components. So let's do a real quick demo, because I think a demo really shows how the system works in reality. Now, again, be prepared. Doing a live demo, as many of you may know, anything can happen. Okay, so I'm just prepping it, you know. All right. So in this case, I've got a Nissan at the top with a barcode, and on the bottom, I've got a Ford Fusion. So what I'm going to do is let me open my. I'm going to move this over. And Carl, can you see the phone now?
Yes, we can see the phone kind of sliding across the screen here. It shows the scanned VIN, barcode, and view inspections, if I'm seeing it right.
All right, so now I'm the person, the car comes in. Again, I'm doing this on a screen, but imagine walking up to the pillar of the vehicle, whatever. I'm just now going to hit scan VIN, and I'm literally going to go up to, and I've now just scanned that VIN. And in a minute here, you'll see that it's come up and it tells me, hey, it's a 2020 Nissan Sentra, blah, blah, blah. Is this the correct vehicle? The answer is yes. Now, if I wanted to, and if I had a repair order, I could put the repair order number in. But in this case, I don't have an RO number, so I'm just going to hit next. So now, right from scanning that VIN barcode, I now have all the ADAS systems that are on this particular vehicle. Okay, so in seconds, the vehicle shows up, I scan the VIN, I now have everything I need to know regarding the ADAS. And now for each of these, I just press the down arrow on the right, and now it's going to present to me, again, the component description, where the component's located, and what type of calibration it's going to need. Let's take a look at the collision warning system. And in this case, there's three components for the collision warning system: the ADAS control unit, the ICC sensor, which is the radar sensor, and the lane camera, so the camera behind the windshield. So in this case, I want to know more about the lane camera, what certain things. Let me just look at the calibration for the lane camera. What kind of calibration do I need to do? So I hit static, and it's now going to take me, and again, in this case, I want to look at the adjustments I need to make to a camera regarding calibration. So I hit adjustments, I press adjustments, and there it is. There's a link to camera aiming adjustment work procedure. Press that, and I'm now literally taken immediately to the all data repair procedure for how to prepare and do the camera aiming on that particular Nissan. And so as you can see, imagine if you're in a shop, and my vision is this platform here should be made available to anybody in the shop, including the techs. In my world, imagine the techs having this information at their fingertips. And if you walk into most shops, by the way, or most back shops or production areas, they've got a workstation, and the technician's got to walk from one end of the shop to the other to go look up the all data procedures or look up whatever procedures. And so one of the problems is they don't do it, right? Because they're trying to produce work, they're trying to generate revenue, they're trying to generate flat rate hours, and they're going to say, do I need to walk all the way across the shop to look up all data procedures, repair procedures? They ain't going to do it. So again, my vision is every player, every employee in the shop has access to this, so they can get access to the information they need when they need it and where they're at, and B, so they perform a proper and safe repair on these ADAS vehicles. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox for a second.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to have all that in the tech's fingertips right then and there, instead of, like you say, and have to take the time to walk away from the job. You're obviously going to be more productive and less downtime.
Right. And if you think about it, Tim, so now let's say I'm the painter, right? And so what do I need to do with regard to anything related to if I have to refinish the bumper, right? So in this case, All right, here I've got the iCar ADAS bumper cover repairs link. And if I need to know what that is, I now have access directly to that information on the iCar site.
That's pretty powerful.
I don't have to go anywhere, right? Whether I'm a painter, whether I'm a frame guy or girl or whatever the case. So we really believe, and also, by the way, you'll see here, in a lot of cases, people are saying you've got to get access to the owner's manuals. So again, literally here, I could click on owner's manual, and I could paste the VIN in, and I get the owner's manual for that car. So again, everything a shop needs to do the research is at their fingertips. So that's the mobile app.
But Frank, in today's repair environment, shouldn't we all have an information provider for vehicle procedures anyway? I mean,
you need
that's
to have,
really the question.
Couldn't agree more, Carl. I mean, I don't know how you fix a car properly and safely without access to somebody's repair procedures when you're repairing the vehicle. Now, in most cases today, as you well know, what happens is the estimator is now going to do the repair planner is going to do the research, right? And then they're going to print all this crap out. And they're going to put it in a folder. They're going to put the folder in the car, or they're going to lay it underneath the windshield wiper, blah, 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 right? And in some cases, you have 30, 40, 50 pages of repair procedures related to a particular repair. Okay.
And they're never going to read it.
Thank you. You just took the words out of my mouth. Who's going to read that crap, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean crap negatively, but it's too much, right? And then which one am I going to look for, right? But in this case, when I'm working on the front bumper, I can now literally go to adaptive cruise control, and I can say, oh, wait a minute, I'm working on the grill. Oh, okay. So what's with the ICC sensor in the grill? Boom. So the immediacy of the information, as I said earlier in the beginning, anytime, anyone, anywhere, real critical. So that's the app. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the portal. In this case, I'm going to go back one, and I want to show the portal. So again, if I don't have the app, let's say I'm an estimator, and I want to get access to information on the Ford, I'm just going to copy and paste that VIN and create an inspection. And again, it says 2024 Fusion Hybrid. So I'm going to choose it. And I'm going to hit view. Again, I could put an RO number in. I could choose an insurance company. I could put notes in. I'm going to hit view. And again, boom, I immediately have access to all of the ADAS components related to that particular vehicle. So in this case, let's take a look at park assist. Okay. So in this case, we've got systems module. We've got reverse sensing system. Let me just take a look at the active park assist sensors. Again, this is all live. So again, not sure what's going to come up here. Never know.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's been a wild ride already this week. So
anyway,
we're right here with you, Frank.
So I clicked on that sensor. And now again, I have all these menus to choose from. So let's take a look at the locations of these sensors, right? Parking aid sensor, where are they at? Boom. So think about that. When you're writing the repair plan or if you're the tech, right? I immediately have access to this information with a click of a mouse. There's really nothing like it available in the market today. And again, if I need additional information, this is all Ford stuff, right? So I've got Ford repair planning. I've got the Ford driver assist overview. What's that mean? Well, let's take a look. Again, this is all live. So again, I'm not sure what's going to come up. I hope I know what's going to come up, but come on, baby. We'll wait while it's looking. But again, you also have videos. You can go to the Ford Orange Manual. And again, we've got information related from Ford, related to their position, related to fascia repair with ADAS systems. So again, anything, and again, if I need to go to Ford's information system, I can click there as well, right? Let's see what came up. Nothing came up. Still looking. Oh, well. Anyway, so that's the portal. really quick, really easy for a user to get access. So let's go on now, okay? So I'm not going to read all this list of benefits. You saw what I just went through both on the app and the portal. I mean, all of these things you see on the screen, these are all the benefits a business will receive by implementing the ADAS Copilot Pro platform in their business. And again, I don't know how a business can repair an ADAS equipped vehicle properly without access to repair procedures and calibration information. So let's talk about what the pricing will be. So there's two platforms. There's ADAS Copilot and ADAS Copilot Pro. ADAS Copilot is going to give you all the information I showed you without the links to the repair procedures. So it's still going to give you the components, the location, and the calibration type. It's still going to give you all the additional information related to the manufacturer's position statements and PDF, but it does not link to all data. Pricing is $9.99 a year, $99 a month. With all data integration and repair procedure integration, the price goes to $17.99 and $159 a month. That's when it becomes commercial. Here's the good news. We're not launching this commercially until after SEMA. So we're taking pre-orders today, and anybody that pre-orders the system today is going to save $40 a month on the all ADAS Copilot Pro with the all data repair procedure integration. So $119 a month. Again,
that's one vehicle.
No kidding. No kidding. And Tim, and by the way, the typical price for a calibration today is about $300 to $400, right? So think about that. One vehicle. Yeah.
Just the time savings alone from the front office to all the way through the back shop, as you call it, is just amazing how many minutes you're going to save. Again, we haven't got a lot of feedback from the shops, but the ability for them immediately to gain access without even having to go anywhere and look is a dramatic time savings. We've been told. So yeah, you're right. It's going to, in my opinion, it's going to change the way people do repair procedure research going forward.
Now, Frank, is this sync up from the front office to the back office, or is it just on one person's handheld iPhone, and then somebody else has got to go scan the same VIN in order to pull it up on their phone, or is it everything sync up?
Great question, Carl. Great question. As soon as whomever is greeting the customer and the car, let me close that. Whoever's greeting the customer and the car, as soon as they scan that VIN, that barcode or the QR code in GM's case, everybody who's a user on the platform has access to the information, as long as they're a user within the system. And you need a username and a password. But that's it, Carl. So scan the VIN, barcode. Now that information can be dispersed. It's automatically dispersed to the entire organization. So think about that time saving, right? Think about that.
I mean, that's amazing. So my next question is there any proprietary hardware other than or software other than the app and a web browser? Is there anything else that I got to have?
Well, you got to have all data. Okay. If you want all data procedures, you have to have access. You have to have an all data subscription. But no, what we try to do, again, I've used this term before. I want to democratize access to repair procedures, because one of the challenges that I've heard with Mike Anderson and everybody is, well, Frank, it's hard to get to. It's expensive. It's hard to use. I don't know how, blah, 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 right? Well, if you democratize it, you take away all the pain or some of the pain or most of the pain, hopefully the use of the repair procedure platforms go up. And oh, by the way, if that goes up, hopefully the cars get repaired better and safer, right? Again, that's what I think we're trying to do is I really want to make it easy for everybody to use repair procedures.
Well, how can you repair the car right if you're not looking to repair procedures? So I mean, that's always been my stance.
I'm with you.
And being able to bring this to the shop so it's easy to use, which has been a challenge for them. And I get it. It's been a challenge to find the right repair procedures. It's a game changer. Would you agree, Tim?
Oh, I'm the first time that Frank, when you showed this to me at the show about a month and a half ago, I walked away from you and I was mind blown. I'm like, wait a minute. Here's my library, my central depository, if you want to call it, to start any repair process coming through my facility. I mean, a lot of times you look at a vehicle, you don't know where the sensors are. We had it happen here, Frank. We had a vehicle come in that they were doing some measuring on and some testing of our equipment, and pulled the bumper cover off and destroyed a sensor that someone didn't see was there. So there again, we got to go to the dealer. We got to put the part on. Then we had to have somebody come in and calibrate the vehicle to make sure it was right before it went back. So, wow, this is just amazing to be able to have everything centrally located to be from what I can see in the industry, the best starting point to start from.
And imagine, Tim and Carl, we've got this other segment of the business. Well, we've got two other segments of the business. We've got mobile, right? So you've got these mobile companies that are going on site, and mostly what they're doing are pre and post scanning, diagnostics, and calibrations. Well, imagine if I'm one of those mobile techs, when I show up at the shop, I scan the VIN barcode, I've got everything I need, right? Or if I'm in a remote diagnostic scenario and I'm trying to help a shop in a remote diagnostics, boom, I get the VIN, I know everything. So there's a lot of utilitarian use here within the industry. Now, let me make sure everybody understands. After November 6th, the pre-order period is going to end. But let me make sure I answer some of the questions that typically come up. So the first question that comes up is, okay, Terlep, where does this thing get its data from, right? So we license multiple proprietary databases in addition to licensing the data from ALLDATA. Also, we get it from industry websites. We get it from YouTube. And basically anywhere we can legally get ADAS and calibration information, we're getting that information and we're putting it into the ADAS Copilot platform. And so when we get that VIN, we literally go out and we scan all these different databases. And then we look at all the different components of the ADAS and calibrations in those databases. We look for duplicates, boom, and we come up with one set and we present it. Okay. Are the ADAS, another question we get is, Frank, so I'm scanning the VIN. Are these the actual systems on the car? Are they supposed to be on the car, or are they just options? No. Because of our filtering of all these multiple databases, on newer vehicles, 2017 and newer, 90 to 95% of the vehicles that we scan were actually accurate in terms of the actual ADAS systems on the vehicles we scan. Older vehicles.
That's a huge number, Frank.
Yeah. But you get the 2016, Carl, 20 and Tim, the older the vehicle, the less accurate because the data just isn't there, right? So, but 2017 and newer, it's accurate. Can a customer subscribe today? The answer is no. You can pre-order. So we can only take pre-orders today, and we're going to hold those pre-orders. If you choose that after you pre-order, you want to cancel, just let us know. Do you have to be an ALLDATA subscriber? The answer is yes and no. Yes, if you want access to ALLDATA procedures. No, if you don't need it, but you still want all the other information. Okay. What model years are we covering today? Today, we've chosen to start with 2017 to 2021 models, because if you think about our industry, right, most of the vehicles that appear, and again, when I say most, I'm going to say majority of vehicles that are being repaired in a collision center are 5 years or newer, right? Now, there's some exceptions, but a majority of the vehicles 5 years or newer. So that's what we started with 2017 to 2021. We're presently working on 2022 models as we speak. And then when we get that done, we're going to go back 2016. We probably won't go back any further than 2015 in this platform. Do we cover all OEM manufacturers? Nope. Today we do not cover Mercedes, Porsche, Mini, or Volvo. Again, we're working on Mercedes today, but Mercedes, the data for Mercedes is a little bit more difficult to get. But anyway, so we're working on that. And is ADAS Copilot Pro available outside the United States today? The answer is no. And the reason is it's really about the VINs, right? We don't get all the VIN information for vehicles outside of the US, i.e. Canada, Mexico. Canada, we got about 70% of them. And in Europe, it's the VIN decoding systems are different than here. All right, so questions, Tim, Carl, anybody who's on the call.
We already have one up in the chat, and it says, does the price include any amount of users per location?
Great question. The answer is yes. Includes up to 3 concurrent users, which means 3 people could use the platform at the same time.
So does that mean, and I just want to clarify, because software subscriptions get kind of, you've seen the structure of some of these things. If you stand your hand and rub your belly 3 times, then you can have somebody that's in the kitchen, use it. So 3 concurrent users, does that mean I can put it on, let's say 10 devices, and as long as only 3 people are using it at the same time, I'm good? Or does that mean I only have three devices?
You can, let's say you've got 20 employees and they have Android and Apple smartphones. They all have one, right? All 20 of them could have the app on their phone. But if 3 people are using the app at the same time, when I'm number 4 and I try to log in, you won't be able to log in.
Okay. So my next question is, and I'm gonna improvise for Stark here. So Stark, thank you very much for your question. The next question is, if I need more concurrent users, is there an option for that?
There is. And so the pricing for that would be based on a per user fee. And right now we're still working on that fee, but we think it's going to be somewhere around between 20 and 25 bucks a user.
Okay, so $119 until November 6th, and then if I need more than 3 users, there'll be an additional charge. Just right? Okay,
and
perfect. I just want to make sure I get it straight.
Yeah. So there'll be so over 3, Carl and Tim, there'll be a additional fee per additional user. So if you need 5, it'll be between 20 and 25 bucks times 2.
Well, I mean, it's really nominal at 20, 25 bucks a user. If you've got that many vehicles going through your shop, you're saving that amount in the first 15 minutes you're using it. So again, you got to look at the return on time invested versus the cost of the software. And I know there's so many pieces of software out there right now, but you want to invest in the ones that are going to make sense. And this one to me makes a lot of sense, because I need to know what's on that vehicle. I need my technicians to know what's on that vehicle. And frankly, I need to write the sheet right for what's on that vehicle. And all that matters, and it kind of plays into all this. And I need to know how to repair what's on that vehicle.
And think about this, Carl and Tim. So just because we're focused on ADAS and calibrations, right? Once I'm into all data, I can use all data anyway, the same way I'm using it today without ADAS Copilot Pro. So if you think about it, I scan the VIN. Now we're presenting all the ADAS and calibration information, but once I'm in the all data, I can go in anywhere and get access to any information I need related to repairing that vehicle. So it's not just when you start to think about it, yes, we're focused on ADAS and calibrations, but when you start to talk about the again, access anywhere, anytime by anyone, I think we're changing the game.
And Frank, it's a huge game changer from my aspect. As long as I've been in the business, this is just really going to keep people being more productive, because there's less time wasted in their search or their fishing expedition. Another question that came in, are the documents within the app printable to PDF for documentation? And are you able to share that information with customers and the insurance companies?
The answer is any document that we've put in or that we link to that's a PDF is a publicly available document, which means you'll be able to download that PDF and do whatever you want with it. Now, with regard to all data information, the answer is the same. If you have an all data license, whatever your license is with all data, it gives you the ability to download the apps, print out the information, and provide that information. So yes, the information is available via PDF. If it's a PDF. Now, again, we've got videos in there as well, right? And so videos, there's links to videos, but any of the documentation, our reporting, the PDFs that are available from the OEM manufacturers and iCar, and the all data documentation is all available via PDF.
Wow, that's strong stuff.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. I mean, again, Tim and Carl, you guys have been in business a long time. I've been in the business a long time. I mean, I really think we can create a major improvement in the way, at least from ADAS and calibration information, the way people research and research that information. And I think we can really change the game. We're really excited.
Everything you do, you're always excited though, Frank.
But Frank,
you always bring the exciting stuff.
But Frank is one of those guys that every time you talk with Frank, he's not only on the leading edge of what's going on. He's on, we call it the bleeding edge. He's out in front of the group every time, and I think Frank, he's former rugby player and probably plays rugby with Mrs. Frank a lot out in the backyard, because I think she gets him by the collar, but I think he does it in the industry and kind of drags us into the 21st, 22nd, 23rd century. Every time we turn around, Frank's got us by the collar and says, "Okay, guys, we got to come over here. Now we got to look at this and we got to do that." And I got a solution for you. So,
yeah, and Carl, thank you so much. But and again, Tim and Carl, this. I mean, sometimes, and again, if whoever's listening, don't take this personally or negatively, but sometimes they just want to grab the industry by the collective collar and shake them and go, "Come on, industry, we need to do this," right? It's like
it's just what's right for the customer, and
right.
and part of your presentation to get the keys from the customer, you're giving them more knowledge up front that they probably don't even know what's on their car. And you're being able to, speak to them in a better fashion by being able to have all that information right up there on your mobile phone, or on the screen of the computer when you're having that conversation, so that they know you're educated about their vehicle.
Yeah, and it sets the tone. Again, Tim and Carl, my opinion, I think that initial greeting really sets the tone between the repair facility and their customer, right? And if you can come across as someone who's really knowledgeable about the latest technology on their car, the consumer is going to, I can just imagine the consumer, wow, they really know about this stuff, right? So it really positions that facility in a different light. It really does.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely does. I'm gonna ask the audience for any more questions, because I know Mr. Frank here is a shaker and a mover, and we got to get him onto his next effort here. But any more questions from the audience? All right, here. All right, Frank. What else you got for us? What's coming up next?
Well, so as everybody knows, or if they don't know, next week is SEMA. And so we'll be at SEMA, and then introducing this. And then what's on the horizon? Well, imagine what you just saw for ADAS and calibrations for the entire vehicle. And that's something my team's working on now, is scan the VIN and then start talking to the phone app saying, remove and replace front bumper, left, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then imagine being able to create the repair procedure, repair plan based on conversational AI. So that's a little over the hill, Carl and Tim, but we see that and something that-
Did you see how he just laid that out there for us? Just kind of like, we're going to throw that on the table right in front of him and just let him think about that for a second.
That is a huge undertaking, number one, but that is the next game changer.
Yeah, we think so. But Tim, you're absolutely 100% right. Huge project. But again, we're trying, as I said earlier, trying to democratize access to repair procedures, right? That everybody can use them. Now, the other thing, and again, we're going to start these conversations next week, is I want to do the same thing with OEM repair procedures I'm doing with ALLDATA, right? So imagine doing the same process, except I'm now in the Nissan info or Honda info. And again, I don't want to change Honda's business model about how they distribute their procedures. I just want to make it easier for people to use them, right? So that's the other thing my team's working on. So we're pretty excited.
Wow, that congratulations, man. You're again, as I said, you're always on top of it. Always on top of it.
Well, thank you guys very much. And again, kudos to you guys for having this week. Spanesi's been a leader in the industry. And again, thank you for doing this. The industry should be thankful for what you're doing. And, Carl and Tim, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Frank. Okay, Tim.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Frank. What's up on the agenda for the rest of the week, or for the rest of the day?
For the rest of the day today at 12:30 Central Time, we have Mr. Clay Holbright, owner of Best Body Shop. He's going to be talking about changes that he's made, some things that he's been following in the industry, and how he's evolved his business in the past, 12, 24 months. You never know what you're always going to get from Clay. That's the best part about it. So we have him at 12:30, and then at 2 p.m. Central, we have a roundtable discussion for our business owner series called Hiring the Next Generation of Technicians. And when we had a discussion about this last week, I know I've been saying it for a couple days, but Zillennials. Never heard that before last week. As a father and raising children and seeing things you hear at the dinner table or the things that you're texted, and then looking at the industry today, there's a lot of stuff there that how do people want to work anymore? How do you motivate people? That type of thing. And when should we get involved with the younger people to get them enticed to come into our industry? So we have Doug Irish from Fayetteville Technical Community College. We have Amber Ritter who's the director of marketing at the Collision Repair Education Foundation. And we have Corey Millar from Red Block, I believe. Red Block, which is
yeah. Let me pull that back up there. Red Block.
You flipped a slide too quick. From Red Block, which is a recruiting company, and he had some pretty good information that he brought to the discussion last week. So I'm pretty excited for the rest of the day. So everybody go back out there, make a little bit of money, and looking forward to the next session. Have a great day.
They say things are changing in the automotive industry. New technology, computers, self-driving vehicles. From where we stand, we see our future and our past. The Collision Repair Education Foundation supports educational programs, schools, and students, working to create qualified, entry-level employees ready for the career opportunities our industry provides. But we can't do this mission without you. Each year, the foundation works to connect corporations and individuals to schools and students across this country. By being a part of our mission, you become an amplified force of leadership, reaching students, instructors, and community business corner of the industry. From where we stand, together, we see our community evolving and supporting each other. We see connections being forged in fire and fostered with trust. Connections that live long past graduation day. Connections that form the foundation of our workforce and shape the future of collision repair. Your support not only provides the much-needed resources for instructional education, but builds local communities by facilitating a sustainable workforce. A workforce trained in tradition, but equipped for the future. Learn more about how you can impact the collision repair industry yesterday, today, and tomorrow.